Today I'd like to talk again about Kashmir and Islam, about the Valley of Kashmir and Islam. The problem in the Valley of Kashmir brings the question of Islam. We know that, and we see all over the world, and that is a plus point, that Muslims feel that their religion, the Quran, Islam, comes first, and second comes the nation where they live. So their faithfulness goes first to Islam, and the second goes to their country where they live or where they've taken refuge. You can see that those Muslims who've been accepted in France, in Germany, or elsewhere keep first their commitment to Islam and second to the nation where they've taken refuge. And this leads to problems. This leads to problems. If I am an Indian, I am first an Indian, and then secondly, I'm a Hindu or a Muslim or a Jain or a Sikh. This is what should be. This is what true secularism is. This is what in France we are taught, that first you're a Frenchman, you're proud to be a Frenchman, and then you're a Catholic or a Protestant or eventually a Muslim. But for Islam, it does not happen like this. And this is the biggest problem in the world now. And for India, it's the biggest problem. Now, Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah have removed Article 370. This is wonderful. This is extraordinary. We've been waiting for that for such long time because it was a total injustice that Indians cannot go to Kashmir and make business there, whereas Kashmiris can go to India and do business everywhere, as they have done. I'm talking about the Kashmiri Muslims there. Now, how to solve this problem? Well, the main problem is that the Quran has been written 10 centuries ago, more, 15 centuries ago. And it was written for mentalities of that time. It was all right in that time, that if, you're unfaithful to your husband, you get stoned to death, or your hands are cut if you're a thief, or if you're not a Muslim, you can be taken as slave or killed, or your wife and children, raped. But today, in the 21st century, the Quran, is not adapted to today. Nobody is saying that the Quran is not a wonderful scripture, but it needs to be adapted. Unfortunately, no Muslim want to touch the Quran. They feel that it's a sacrilege, and as a result, they go overboard. If you say anything against the Quran, if you write a caption, showing the Prophet with a weapon in his turbans, as it happens today, you can be killed. As in France, the journalists were murdered because they had done some cartoons which Muslims found offensive. So Islam needs to reform. Until then, we will see the problem of Kashmir or Chechnya or Palestine will continue because Muslims put the religion first and the nation second. So Muslims need to introspect. And I think they do today. Unfortunately, they're scared. Those who do introspect, and they're very, very, very few. You can see them, people like Tariq Fatah, and very, very few Muslims. Their lives are in danger. So Muslims as a whole, hundreds of millions of Muslims need to introspect that their scriptures, the Quran, can remain sacred, but it needs to be adapted to the 21st century so that peace reigns upon this world. Namaste.